A lot of people will describe the metaverse to be almost like a digital world where people can interact and participate in more immersive experiences, whether that's through VR headsets or whatever technology might come with it. So some people will say the metaverse is like a digital twin to the real world, where through a VR headset or other technologies, you can experience a lot of experiences that you could in the real world. I like to think of the metaverse as the next iteration of social media. So we went through MySpace and Vine, which came and left, and now we have TikTok instead of Vine. We have Facebook, we have Instagram. All of these spaces are interesting to communities because of what they offer you. People are interested in social media because you can go onto these spaces and you can create content and you can share that content with your friends or even with random people. So I think the metaverse will be the next iteration of that, but it will be much more immersive in that rather than it being just on your phone, it'll involve a VR headset where you can create content in this digital world, a realm that's completely different than what you have just sitting in your phone. And of course, I think along with it, as it develops, businesses will follow, because just like with, if you remember Facebook and Instagram initially, museums sometimes will showcase borrowed pieces of art, right? An artist can or a museum can share art with another museum to display it for a period of time. The purchaser of that $69 million piece of the $69 million NFT could theoretically send that NFT to the Phoenix Art Museum to display here. Now, sure, the Phoenix Art Museum could just find an image of that NFT on the internet, download it, and just put it up on a display screen, but there's a certain amount of novelty, if you will, to having the actual NFT on display here at the Phoenix Art Museum. It's kind of hard to grasp mentally, why, what's the difference, but I think it has to do with the technology. It's just a showcase of an application of how the technology is used, knowing that anyone can go into the blockchain and verify that the one that the Phoenix Art Museum is displaying is the true, authentic, original NFT that sold for $69 million. And they can verify that by going into the blockchain transaction history and seeing who the previous holder of that piece was. Smart contract code, well, one, they're not contracts like contracts I myself as an attorney would write. It's code that's developed by a blockchain developer. And smart contract code is very interesting in that the blockchain developer can write terms into the code for the NFT artist. And so the terms can define, when an NFT is sold, how should the funds, the cryptocurrency or whatever is being transacted, how should the funds be routed? And if there are subsequent transactions, should there be any royalties, and where should those royalties go in perpetuity? And so with that though, which I often have to explain to my clients, is you have to understand that while smart contract code is technically enforceable in that it's code, meaning if this occurs, then this should occur, does not mean it's legally enforceable. So just because the code recognizes it, does the law recognize it? And so just because you've created this NFT and we can verify through the blockchain that you are the originator of that NFT, we should still register a trademark for you. We should still write in the terms and conditions for your website where you're selling the NFTs, we should still define what the intellectual property rights are for your NFT, where a purchaser of your NFT can go to check and understand, what kind of rights they have associated with the NFT that they purchased. Can they commercialize the art that they just purchased, or do they only have the right to display it? Can they take the artwork and put it on some merchandise and start selling it, or can they just really not do anything with it? And then sometimes, you might want to work out a licensing agreement, or all of that is defined in the legal language. And even though we might be able to define it in the smart contract language, you still need the law's support there.